Welcome to Healthy Cooking Secrets 2022. I'm so glad you're here, and I am so excited to share some of my secret tips for your healthy 2022. Happy 2022. Is one of your New Year's resolution to eat healthy? But do you secretly worry, would my eat healthy resolution last beyond January this year? Because it never has, no matter what you tried? Then you're in the right place. During this special free training, I will teach you the restaurant secret weapon you can easily use at home to serve fresh meals within 15 minutes. Don't worry, it's super simple. Anyone can do it. Way easier than what you have been doing. No more coming home after a long day at work. There's no energy to cook or even to decide what to make for dinner. You go for something quick and unhealthy and regret it minutes later. No more looking inside the full fridge and then sighing, there's nothing to eat. Only to discover lots of sad-looking veggies a few days later that you have to throw out. Anyone guilty of this? Hi, I'm Mari, author of Amazon #1 best-selling cookbook, Kitchen Wizard Flexibes. I'm the creator of Kitchen Wizard Flexibe Method and host of Healthy Meal Magic for Two YouTube channel. I have been teaching this method since 2009. I've also worked with American Heart Association's 2020 initiative. I was born and raised in Japan, lived, educated, and worked both in Japan and US. As we dive in, I have an important question for you that I really want you to think about. How much is good health really worth to you and your loved ones? After a stressful day, you're exhausted and hangry. Want to unwind, eat something good, and finally relax. And convenience takes over. The priority of eating healthy goes out the door. We end up with more processed, less whole food. Once in a while, that's okay. But if that tendency continues, we will end up dealing with health consequences like weight gain, low energy, sleeping issues, long-term health issues. And not just to the body, that there are significant effects on our mind as well. Feeling guilty of not taking care of ourselves, feel like a failure, feel helpless. It affects our overall well-being long term. But no matter what we try, nothing works. The more stress we get, the worse it gets. We are trapped in a vicious cycle. Believe me, I've been there too. I moved to the US in 1988 and quickly adapted an American lifestyle. I love to eat, but it was too hard to cook every day, so I relied on pre-made foods and restaurants. And as a result, my wallet quickly got skinny and then my waist got wide. It's expensive to keep eating out, but the most expensive of all was the cost of my deteriorating health, especially in the US, where the healthcare costs are extremely high compared with my native Japan. Not just weight gain, but I also started to have other health issues, including prediabetes. That was a huge wake-up call because my dad died of diabetes despite all sorts of treatments, drugs, and restrictive diets. I didn't want to take drugs nor suffer from diabetes like my dad, so I tried everything to eat healthy. Lots of different recipes, various kitchen gadgets. I even signed up as an assistant for a 12-week cooking foundation course. but nothing worked. They actually made things worse. After years of struggle, I was visiting my family and then friends back in Tokyo, and a light bulb went off. They were whipping up all sorts of healthy, delicious dishes in their stamp-sized kitchens, and I was like, this is brilliant. If I can do this, I may be able to solve my problems too. Once I came home to San Francisco, I started to experiment with their method, and the result was phenomenal. It was so easy and fun. I was able to whip up healthy, delicious dishes in no time too. And then I was finally able to establish healthy cooking habits for good. So, what changed that first year? First and foremost, we were eating more variety of delicious food than ever. And in terms of health, I lost 30 pounds back to my ideal before US weight. And I was feeling like 25-year-old again. My stress and sleeping issues was gone. And then I was able to overcome pre-diabetes without drugs or restricted diet. And not just my health got better, to my surprise, my husband and I ended up saving $9,000 in the first year alone because we were not eating out as much, and then we were able to use all the groceries we bought. And by using this cooking method, I was spending much less time shopping, making decisions, and then prepping. I was saving well over 2 hours per week. That times 50 weeks is over 100 hours savings per year. Divided that by 8 hours a day, that's 12.5 days gained per year, like extra 2.5 week vacation. You might ask, that's great, Mari, but have you been able to keep it up? Yes, for 15 years and going. My weight and energy levels stay the same. And in terms of money, when you save $9,000 per year, in 15 years, it adds up to $135,000. And the time saving adds up to over 1,500 hours. And then if you divide that by 8-hour workday, that's like 187 days. That's more than 6 months. Who wants to have that much extra time and money and good health? That's a serious gift we can give ourselves. The reason why I'm telling my story is because I really believe that this is possible for you too. You can be the hero of your own story. My easy cooking method will teach you simpler, smarter ways to establish healthy cooking and eating habits for life. So let's discuss why what you have been doing doesn't work. Because too much focus is on recipes that are written for the masses. In other words, no one told you the right way to use recipes. The assumptions are everyone has the same ingredients, same taste, same kitchen setup, cooks the same way, and in reality, our ingredients, taste, kitchen setup, the way we cook are all different. Even if you're trying to follow exactly, you can't. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this. When I signed up as an assistant of a 12-week cooking foundation course, the teachers kept telling us, you have to follow recipe exactly, even when you're cooking at home. Did it work? No. I quickly realized following the recipe exactly at home meant instead of cooking, I was too worried about someone else's way of cooking with a tool and kitchen setup I didn't have. It made my head spin. I was cutting and burning myself all the time. It took way longer than the recipe said. And then on top of that, my food didn't taste that great despite all the effort. It was a torture. Let me also share the perspective of a recipe developer. During the extensive focus group recipe testing for my cookbook, it became crystal clear to me that it's impossible to write a recipe that everyone can follow exactly, because just we talked about, everyone's kitchen setup are different, preferences are different, plus people have their own way of doing things, which is a lot more natural. The bottom line is, if you taste your food as you go and then make adjustment based on your need, it will work much better, and then you will end up with the food you like. Just make recipes work for you instead of becoming a slave to them. Now, even if you take care of the recipe part, there are other challenges. Here's the missing piece of the puzzle. Most of the time, people prep and cook one recipe on Monday, then another on Tuesday, and then so on. It's all linear. But the challenge is, you're doing everything from step one every time. There will be leftover dishes you didn't eat, especially if you are cooking for one or two. Try to save time by batch cooking. And there are scraps of leftover ingredients you didn't know what to do with. Everything is random, unrelated, and nothing fits with each other. When you cook every dish from step one, it's like reinventing the wheel every single time. It's not efficient. It takes time and effort. You're probably crying because you're slicing and then sauteing onion fifth time this week. Many of the leftover and ingredients you didn't know what to do with will be forgotten in the fridge, go bad, and sayonara to the garbage can once again. So what do? We waste hours to find that perfect recipe that uses all of the leftover ingredients, only to find there's something missing. So we go get the new ingredients we may not even use up, and then throw away more food. We find ourselves in the same vicious cycle, and we feel like it's all our fault once again. No, it's not. It's all because everything is random and unrelated, and no one teaches you how to use recipes in a way that they fit with each other. The reality is, kitchen floor is more like a cycle instead of something linear, random, and unrelated. The cycle repeats with the ingredients and the food you have left over. If you can figure out how to use them efficiently, all the pieces will start to fit. And what you do today affects what you do tomorrow. So what you really need to figure out is how to put together a fresh meal without reinventing the wheel each time to save time and effort later. Well, I'm the kitchen wizard, so I'm going to give you a magic wand to make the recipe work for you, starting right now. It's super simple. Just use the recipe as the starting point for inspiration and building blocks. Remember I said I'll give you the restaurant secret weapon to serve food within 15 minutes of the order? The main reason why a restaurant can serve you fresh food quickly is, instead of cooking everything from scratch, number one, they pre-prep ingredients to use as building blocks. Number two, have them ready to go. And number three, once the order is in, they mix and match to finalize the dish. You can do this too in much smaller scale at home. Once you do, your cooking will become so much simpler and then more versatile at the same time. So you can sustain your healthy cooking habits easily, way beyond February. Oh, and then don't forget, you will find your food more delicious and exciting too. Cooking can be like life. It requires a fluid and adaptable approach. Do your best to hold that thought and then roll with it. Check and taste to see where it's going. So what happens when you start cooking this way? Here's Mariko from California. Before She was saying, I'm not a good cook. It's too much work for a single woman to cook at home. But as a New Year's resolution, she decided to cook more to be healthy. She started to experiment with my method because of its uniqueness. She had initial success with one recipe base called mirepoix, sauteed onion, carrot, celery base from my cookbook. She said it's a handy magic ingredient that made everything delicious and quick. And this success gave her a surge of joy and confidence. As a result, she got her perspective changed about home cooking from hard and time consuming to easy, fast, and fun. And after a few months, she reported back to me, I'm a good cook. No recipe is intimidating. And she told me other changes included natural weight loss. She started exercising and she had much more energy. And then she also saved quite a bit of money. She told me, I feel like I got new life all in 3 months just by having fun cooking and eating well. You changed my life, Mari. I'm really excited with my new life now. And here's Gina from upstate New York. Before, she was striving to eat healthy, but she was struggling to maintain healthy eating no matter what she tried. Then after my master class, she had an initial success with the first round of prepping. After only 6 days, she said, making meal is exciting, easy, fast, and delish. And eating way more veggies, physically feeling much better, and then she know that she can keep this going. By now, you might be asking, so how do I implement this in my own life too? Option number 1, keep doing what you have been doing. You might get there someday, but it's going to be painful. Option number 2, follow the process we learned today, like Mariko and Adina did, and then see what happens. If you want the result like Mariko and Dina did, you may want to check out my new masterclass, Weeknight Meal Made Easy, coming up on January 7th. Weeknight Meal Made Easy is a game-changing live masterclass designed to help you implement and establish healthy cooking habits, especially for those who cook for 1, 2, or a small family up to 4. It builds on what you learned today and then makes the transition possible. I created this program because this cooking method is well known among many Japanese home cooks, but not known outside of Japan. And it literally changed your life like it did mine. It's so much more logical and inflexible. You will be like, why didn't I think about this before? So what's covered in the masterclass? Number 1, 3 ways to achieve flexible and then sustainable healthy cooking habits in depth with simple formulas that are easy to remember, repeat, and tweak. Number 2, how to apply it into your own weeknight meals to finally establish healthy cooking habits for life. And number 3, simple mindset shift that accelerate your transformation without stress. This method works especially for those who cook for 4 people or less. If you like this presentation, you will love my Weeknight Meals Made Easy masterclass. It works with any diet or cuisine. And to find out more and sign up, go to marisuzuki.com/healthy22. It's normally $99, but only $49 until midnight of January 7th. You will make this up in the first week. So don't miss this great opportunity. So thank you so much for watching. See you soon at Weeknight Meal Made Masterclass. Bye.